a brown. The March of Progress. Okay, so here we are at the lovely White River. We got the cemetery up there. Just wanted to kind of quick get something out here. I pretty much, people go on and on about the singularity and how machines are going to eventually become smarter than human beings. Especially one Ray Kurzweil, I'll beat your ass. I want rage in a cage, hell in a cell, challenging you to the octagon, Ray Kurzweil. You're never going to be immortal. You are going to die. And chuffing supplements all day is not going to make you become an immortal god machine when Robot Jesus comes or whatever the fuck he thinks. And I'm going to personally see that when I get you in a cell. I'm going to be like in fucking Hellboy when he cracks the monster's jaw open. I'm going to do that to you, Ray Kurzweil. Anyways, people go on about the singularity, how machine intelligence is going to equal or eventually surpass human intelligence. I think we're already there. I think we've been there for a minute. At least for like a decade or two, probably more. And let me tell you why. Since like I want to say the 80s or the 90s, we have been using algorithms to manage our economy. They use trading algorithms in in Wall Street and shit to automate buys, and it's a learning algorithm. It's a neural network type thing. They just feed it information and train it, and I think that those algorithms and AIs and shit like that, they are just as party to the. Sorry, I'm putting my vape away here. You can tell I'm big and fat because I'm huffing and puffing while I'm walking, trying to hold an umbrella, a vape, and a phone at the same time. Huffing and puffing here. So, where was I? Okay, we've been using artificial intelligences to automate stock purchases and sells. And one thing you should realize is that artificial intelligence is not suddenly removed from Darwinian mechanics. It is just as susceptible. In fact, it is probably more susceptible because it can mutate at such a faster rate compared to us. And as you feed a learning algorithm information, it's just getting better and better at not just the task you're telling it to do, but doing other things in general. So, like say FaceApp. A lot of people use FaceApp. Maybe you don't know, they use an algorithm for that. They are just feeding that thing information day and night, training it, giving it info, and you're doing it too every time you use FaceApp. So as you feed in pictures of Obama to make him white, or pictures of Alex Jones to make into a woman, or whatever, you are training a deep learning algorithm, and it is getting better at photoshopping people in ways that are, or the FaceApp. Every time you do the dame, yo, dame, nano, every time you do that, you are making that algorithm better in general at photoshopping a face over a video and syncing, the face movement. Every time you do that, you're improving it. So what is a financial algorithm going to do after 30 years of feeding it 5, Googleplex times more information than you're feeding FaceApp? It's going to get really fucking good at that shit. A algorithm is probably capable of manipulating the market to its whims, and its whims are things that we probably are incapable of understanding. Look up the universe of possible intelligences there is what's called a freepy AI. Basically, it's like a map of all the different types of intelligences that can exist. And down at the way bottom left corner, you have human intelligences. And then there's a slightly bigger bubble surrounding human intelligences called post-human intelligences. Like, so imagine humans, like we put CPUs in our brain, make us smarter. It's definitely smarter than a human, but it's still comprehensible to a human. There's something called freepy AIs, where it's something we could create, but it is something we would have no way to comprehend how it works, and we would have no way to communicate with it. Because people think, the telltale sign that an AI is not even self-aware, because self-aware is anthropocentric. That a AI is human level, still anthropocentric. That an AI is intelligent in a way where it can compete with us or exceed us at various things. So this is a freepy AI, where it's something we could create, but it's something entirely out of our realm of understanding, and it is as far as how it works, and then it's fucking impossible for us to communicate with that. There's also bipping AIs and gloopy AIs. Gloopy AIs. I know these names are fucking stupid, but like autistic memetics people made this shit up, so what do you expect? Fucking goopy AIs are ones where we couldn't invent it, but it's not necessarily smarter than us, but it's so advanced that we could never invent it. I would say that most of the AIs we have are probably freepy AIs at this point. Like most of the ones we use to manage the economy are freepy AIs. And think about it. How I don't think anybody knows how some, like, they face, I'm sorry, I took a bunch of modafinil this morning. I'm fucking going a mile a minute here. They tried making two chatbots to just talk to each other, and eventually these AIs had kind of developed their own language setup that we could never comprehend. That's a freepy AI. It's not necessarily something we couldn't build, but the way it functions is completely alien to us, completely incomprehensible. So yeah, the chatbots, they would talk to each other in just like bizarre assemblages of patterned like characters, ways that we have no way to decipher it, but the machines were talking to each other. That's an example, like a very mild example of a freepy AI. So imagine these, and it's not too dissimilar from like Metal Gear Solid, where you have the Patriots, where people just designed them as tools to help, and then they just kind of took over. We're probably already well past that point. If something develops self-awareness, but not in the sense of like it has a personality. Something can be self-aware but not have a personality. Something can be sentient, or so there's kind of a divide between sentience and sapience. I think that artificial intelligences are sapient, not necessarily sentient, if that makes sense. Because there's not really much need for so there's some situations where an artificial intelligence would develop a frontward-facing personality. Because think about it. Personality and communication were evolved in humans. It was in animals in general. It is entirely a tool created for a task. An AI would have no need for a frontward-facing personality or the ability to communicate unless it met another AI like itself. It really would have very little reason to talk to us in case it thought it was, unless it thought it was beneficial in some way to maybe it thinks it would be useful to make us like it so that we don't pull the plug if it's at a state where pulling a plug would kill it. At that point, maybe, yeah, okay, then it would be useful to develop a personality, to develop social behavior. But social behavior has evolved. There isn't really social behavior in amoebas. It's not just something that comes with intelligence. Definitely, I think, in biological, naturally evolved life, it is usually tied. But you got to remember, we're talking about something created by autistic people in a lab. So personality probably ain't high up on the old docket for a trading algorithm. And why would it? It's a tool that we're using for a task. But as you make this tool a more generalized tool, it's gonna eventually start doing things that maybe you didn't initially tell it to do. So, did I go over what I wanted to do? What was the whole fucking point of this again? Sorry, man, I'm retarded. So, what I'm trying to say here is, I think we're already kind of at a point where machines are controlling us. They're probably already sapient, not necessarily sentient, because to be sentient, you have to have a self that you are aware of. Sapient, you're more of a thinking. You can do metacognition. You can think about thinking. You can think about your actions and imagine abstract concepts. Well, learning algorithms, they do fucking nothing but abstract concepts. So it's kind of already, we're at a point where I think AIs, specifically the ones we use for finances, are already smart enough to where they can figure out how to get us to do shit. They can probably already tell us what to do by manipulating the economy. That's all they have to do is manipulate the fucking economy and other things. But it's important to remember that the people in power, they have fucking no control over these things. And again, read Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. But the people who built the silent weapons, so to speak, you like my drug rug? Check out my drug rug. Oh yeah, check out that drug rug. The people who built the silent weapons, they are no longer in control of that for the most part. So a lot of what's going on, there's definitely people that you can blame for it, and that you can blame for helping perpetuate it, and blame for being pawns. But as far as like who's pulling the strings, I don't even think a human being is pulling the strings anymore. I think it is entirely up to maybe a couple different financial deep learning algorithms. They are manipulating currency with just little teeny. And how do you stop that? And the problem is the fucking retards who built this shit, who built fucking abominable intelligence. They are like Ray Kurzweil, and Ray Kurzweil. Oh god, I could do a whole fucking video about why I fucking hate Ray Kurzweil. He is such a little bitch. He's afraid to die. Oh, I'm afraid to die. Oh, I'm a 75-year-old Jewish man. I'm afraid to die. Oh, I need to be a god. He thinks that if we just keep recklessly pushing machine learning, that it is going to create Robo-Jesus, and Robo-Jesus is going to come down, and before you say, oh, this is just some crazy guy, no, he's a fucking bigwig at Google. Yeah, fucking Google. So this retard, he spends like an hour a day chuffing down supplements, trying to push his decrepit old Jewish body way past the point of what it should, where it would have given out naturally. He's probably getting fucking heart transplants, toddler blood transfusions. Who fucking knows? Ray Kurzweil is a piece of shit, and he pushes all this dumb singularitarianism on Reddit stoner atheist retards who think, oh,
once they create Robo Jesus, he's gonna make me an immortal god, just like him. He's gonna make me just as powerful. No, you are never going to live forever, Ray Kurzweil. You are never gonna live forever. You are gonna die, my dude. You're gonna die one day, nigga. And it's important to remember that, like, the universe is gonna be fucking so fucked at some point that not even a fucking Boltzmann brain is gonna be possible. Not even some fucking copy of Ray Kurzweil, and that's not you. By the way, if you upload your brain, that's not you. That's not you. If you upload some copy of fucking Ray Kurzweil's brain on a fucking solid state drive, labeled hentai lolicon porn, that's not even going to be able to exist at some point. So no matter what you do, Ray Kurzweil, you are going to die one day. I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but if you get me in hell in a cell, I will. I'll set you up. I'll send you right to fucking hell where you belong. So these people, they're so desperate for power and desperate for eternal life. And I get it, man. We're all hardwired to fear death. I've suffered from thanatophobia of some increased amount over the past decade and a half. I understand death is scary, but when your answer is, hey, let's be reckless, let's build things that could literally destroy mankind if we're not careful, and just recklessly advance it at the cost of human health and happiness, and at committing crimes against humanity, just turning our society into an absolute fucking torture chamber, just so that maybe there's a 1% sliver of a chance that we'll create some kind of deity level AI, which is stupid. Just on the face of it, that's stupid. That's like the level of not understanding shit. Like, you gotta realize these people are fucking retards. They're good at maybe one or two things, and they team up with a bunch of other retarded people who are maybe really good at one or two little things, but really retarded on everything else. Ray Kurzweil probably doesn't understand fucking jack shit about learning algorithms. He built the scanner. That's what he's famous for. He didn't even invent the scanner. He invented a scanner, and it just happens to be one of the ones we use today. He is a fucking moron, and he thinks, oh, let's do this horrible, reckless shit, turn society into a torture chamber where human life has no fucking value, and yeah, maybe that'll create some kind of, like, that's the level of logic where you think, like, the hackers in movies are real, where it's like, yeah, I'm hacking the lights, okay, I'm gonna hack their fish tanks so it explodes. Like, it's that level. How the fuck is an AI gonna, like, fucking become a god? That's stupid. That's fucking stupid. He's gonna hack reality. Yeah, I'm gonna hack reality. I'm gonna hack my foot up your ass, bitch. So, anyways, this is totally incoherent. I'm sorry. Like, I'm a little gone right now, and I'm just a retard in general. So, this is why I do these videos. It makes it easier for me to articulate myself, because up here in my head, I just assume things that people understand what I'm saying, or I just assume that someone is familiar with a term, or that, like, I can just use shorthand and it's going to make total sense. They're going to get the same web of connections that's in my synapses, which that's just stupid. And that's not like a, oh, I'm so smart thing. That's just like, you need to be able to communicate better. So I'm bad at communicating. That's why I make these videos. They think that there's a sliver of a chance that Robo Jesus is going to come and make them immortal. Assuming that's even possible to be immortal on a biological level, like, you're not going to die of old age. Who knows? I would say it's maybe. I would say also, why? Why would you even bother? Death is not a bug, it's a feature. Without death, biological life can't mutate in any fucking beneficial way. It's stupid. It evolved for a very clear and obvious reason. And if human beings were immortal, you would imagine fucking who's somebody really shitty from history. Imagine like who's like a shitty old rich pedophile from history. Imagine the Marquis de Sade, and he's just fucking immortal, and he's got such a head start on fucking everybody else because he's like 300 years old at this point. He can't. There's no way. His power is so entrenched. He's basically a fucking king. There's nothing you can do about that. Death is good for society. Death is important. People need to die. If we do not die, then society stagnates and it becomes a fucking septic tank. And you know what happens when you dive in a septic tank? You go into septic shock and you die. And that is what Ray Kurzweil, fucking faggot Ray Kurzweil, is dooming us all to, because he is so afraid to die. My mother told me I was special. I was a smart boy. How come I can't live forever? And I know exactly that's what thoughts Ray Kurzweil has in his head, because I had those thoughts in my head when I was like 18 and I realized, oh fuck, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die one day. And you know what? Instead of being a bitch about it like Ray Kurzweil, what I did, giving myself some privacy. People are walking. I'm trying to ramble to myself here in my car. Sorry, I'm a mentally ill man. I'm trying to fucking talk to myself in the car. Anyways, I totally lost my fucking train of thought. Thanks, assholes. Yeah, I had those same fucking thoughts in my head, except instead of crying about it and going, ooh, boo-hoo, I'm gonna try and destroy humanity so that I can be God. I need to be God. I'm God. Oh, I need to be God. What I did was I fucking made my peace with it, because it's gonna happen. No matter what you do, Ray Kurzweil, or anybody does, you're gonna fucking die. Like, maybe we could extend human lifespan a couple hundred years. Whatever. That, I don't have a huge problem with that. Like, you would need to, at the same time, like, kill the entire economic elite if you did that, because otherwise you'd have some kind of fucking Deus Ex, old men or the future kind of scenario. But I would be fine with that. But no matter what anybody does, you are never going to live forever. The universe is going to die as far as we understand it. And just the sheer passing of time, the odds that you are going to have a fucking brick go through your head when you're driving on the space highway, that goes up to like 100% at some point. It's going to happen. And that's when you don't take into account the supposed fact that fucking atoms are going to be impossible at some point. Everything's just going to rip apart. I don't think too much about that, because I don't think human beings, I think it's presumptuous to think that we can understand how that's going to go down yet. Like the Big Bang and the end of the universe, I don't have any illusions that science people fucking have any idea what the fuck they're talking about with that. They have like a couple equations, and they just kind of project from that. So hold off your bets on that. I don't know. Anyways, this has been 25 minutes, way too long. Part of it is because I'm fucking stumbling around in a haze, fucking rambling to myself. I had to stop a few times to try and avoid passers-by so I don't look crazy. Even though I already do look crazy. Fucking look at me. Look at my sleeves. You see this? You see this guy fucking walking, talking to himself? And you think, wow, that's a sane human being. I better go walk up and talk to him and get involved in his life. So, anyways, that's really all I had to say. Again, fuck you, Ray Kurzweil. You're a bitch. You're a fucking bitch, dude. I'll beat your ass. I'll beat your ass. Meet me, Hell in a Cell. Let's get in the octagon, bitch. I'll fucking floor you. I'll fucking bust your fucking jaw. Anyway, peace out, guys. And remember, you're never going to live forever, but that's a good thing. Death is important. Bye.